What if gravity quietly ages you every second? Section 1. The Gravity Aging Hypothesis. A bold new idea. Imagine an old, husky British voice like a seasoned nature doc narrator. This voice asks a simple but profound question. What if gravity, one of the most constant forces in our lives, is a hidden driver of how we age? This is not science fiction. It's a new, controversial idea in longevity science. The hypothesis suggests our everyday act of standing upright might have long-term consequences for health and lifespan. It challenges how we see our relationship with the planet. The central proposal, the gravity aging hypothesis. At its core, the constant pull of gravity over decades may limit blood flow to the brain. Reduced cerebral blood flow could affect how the entire body ages. The idea sounds almost too simple, yet it has sparked intense debate. Supporters include scientists, doctors, researchers. Could walking upright have a hidden cost, a built-in timer tied to physics? We will explore this idea from all sides. We'll guide you through this contested territory. First, we'll explain its three main claims. Claim 1. How standing upright could reduce brain blood flow. Claim 2. Which brain regions might be most vulnerable. Claim 3. How those regions could control aging system-wide. Supporters point to intriguing evidence, astronauts in space, and early inversion table experiments. We'll separate fact from speculation. Then we'll present the other side of the debate. Many medical experts argue the brain self-regulates blood flow regardless of posture. We'll examine criticisms and a controversial commercial device linked to the hypothesis. We'll discuss scientific integrity. By the end, you'll have a balanced view, promise and open questions. The gravity aging hypothesis was proposed by Deepinder Goyal, a tech entrepreneur who founded a longevity research initiative called Continue Research. His idea offers a new perspective on why we age. It is not a complex biological theory involving obscure molecules. Instead, it points to a physical force we experience every moment of our lives: gravity. The hypothesis begins with a simple observation. Humans are unique among large mammals for spending most of their lives standing and walking upright. Goyal asks if this evolutionary milestone came with an unacknowledged trade-off. The core idea is straightforward. When we stand up, our heart has to work against gravity to pump blood all the way up to our brain. This is a constant, lifelong effort. The hypothesis proposes that over decades, this constant struggle leads to a slight but meaningful reduction in cerebral blood flow, or the amount of blood that reaches the brain. It is not a dramatic drop that would cause immediate problems. Rather, it is a slow, gradual decline. This subtle decrease in blood supply year after year could be starving the brain of the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function optimally. It's a bold claim that reframes aging not just as a biological process, but also as a mechanical one. We know that genetics, lifestyle, and environmental factors all play crucial roles. Instead, the hypothesis suggests that gravity acts as a constant, underlying stressor that accelerates the aging process. Over a long enough time, that small weight can create a significant imbalance. This is where inversion tables come into the picture. By lying on a table that tilts you upside down, you can use gravity to your advantage, helping blood flow more easily to the brain. The hypothesis suggests that short daily sessions of inversion might be enough to counteract the decades-long decline in cerebral blood flow. This proposed solution is as simple and direct as the problem it aims to solve, making the entire hypothesis both intriguing and highly debatable. Claim 2. The vulnerable control centers. It singles out the most ancient and vital regions, the hypothalamus and brainstem. These areas are like the body's central command, managing essential functions that keep us alive: breathing, heart rate, body temperature, hormone levels. Claim 3. The brain as the master regulator of aging. Their decline could trigger a body-wide cascade of negative effects. The rate at which these control centers decline sets the pace for systemic aging. To find evidence for the gravity aging hypothesis, researchers look to an environment where gravity is almost absent: space. For decades, scientists have studied astronauts who live and work in microgravity on the International Space Station. What happens to the human body when the constant downward pull of gravity is removed? Astronauts experience a wide range of physiological changes that look remarkably similar to accelerated aging. When astronauts enter a weightless environment, their body fluids shift upward into their torso and head. This causes a puffy face, but it also means the brain experiences a significant change in fluid pressure and circulation. Scientists have observed structural changes in astronauts' brains. Some studies show the brain itself can shift upward within the skull. For example, astronauts lose bone density in space at a much faster rate than people on Earth, very similar to osteoporosis. After returning to Earth, they can experience problems with blood pressure regulation, which is also more common in the elderly. Even the immune system seems to age faster in space, resembling immunosenescence. These parallels across multiple body systems, skeletal, cardiovascular, nervous and immune, are what make the astronaut data so compelling. It suggests that gravity is not just a force we stand against, but a fundamental signal that our bodies use to maintain their structure and function. The research group, Continue Research, wanted to test the core idea directly. They designed a small pilot experiment. A small group of participants was asked to use an inversion table for just 10 minutes every day. This daily routine was maintained for 6 weeks. They reported an average increase in measured cerebral blood flow of approximately 7%. So, a 7% increase was presented as a major reversal, potentially offsetting years or decades of decline. For supporters, this was the first direct evidence their idea might work. But it is crucial to understand the context and limitations of this early data. The number of participants was very small. The study has not been published in a peer-reviewed journal. Without peer review, other scientists can't fully judge the experiment's quality. The gold standard uses advanced imaging, MRI scans. The early experiment likely used a more accessible, indirect method. Such methods are useful, but can be less precise. We don't know the margin of error for that 7% figure. The experiment raises more questions than it answers. It's a single data point from a small, unpublished experiment. The gravity aging hypothesis faces a major challenge from a well-established principle in medicine: cerebral autoregulation. This is the brain's remarkable ability to maintain a stable supply of blood for itself. When you stand up, when you lie down, when you exercise intensely, your brain automatically adjusts blood vessel width to keep flow constant. Most doctors and physiologists argue that this system is incredibly robust. The brain's autoregulation system is designed specifically to prevent that. The brain would see the surge as pressure and constrict vessels back to its preferred state. The brain's goal is stability, not maximum flow. Many in medicine therefore call the gravity hypothesis misleading or even pseudo-scientific. Medical professionals have raised serious safety concerns about the proposed intervention, inversion therapy. The practice significantly increases blood pressure inside the head and also raises the pressure inside the eyes. Doctors are particularly worried about people with high blood pressure, heart disease, a history of stroke, attempting this without medical supervision. Their guiding principle is, first, do no harm. The discussion became more heated with the introduction of the temple device. This led to accusations that the entire scientific proposal was a sophisticated marketing strategy. This raised questions about a potential conflict of interest. Was the primary goal to advance human knowledge or to sell a device? In response to these criticisms, Deep Inder Goyal publicly denied that the project was motivated by commercial interests. He called on independent researchers, including the prestigious All India Institute of Medical Sciences, to conduct their own rigorous trials. This call for collaboration was a crucial step in addressing the controversy. Section 1. Weighing myth versus reality. A hypothesis in the balance. As we reach the end of our exploration, we must weigh the myth versus the reality. On one hand, a compelling, simple and elegant idea, supported by intriguing parallels and a glimmer of support. This is the promising, almost mythical part of the story. On the other hand, we have the firm reality of established medical science, the lack of peer-reviewed, large-scale data. The safety concerns are real. This is the sobering reality check. What remains unproven is the central chain of causation. There is no solid evidence that upright posture leads to a chronic, clinically significant decline in cerebral blood flow in healthy people. The hypothesis remains just that, an interesting and provocative question, not a statement of fact. For now, the myth far outweighs the verifiable reality. Section 2. The path forward: caution, collaboration, bold questions. The most practical advice is to avoid adopting risky interventions based on unproven theories. Instead of a magic bullet, focus on proven strategies for healthy aging, regular exercise, a balanced diet, adequate sleep, and stress management. The scientific path forward is collaboration and rigorous testing. Scientists must design large-scale, randomized controlled trials, use gold standard methods, track participants long-term, and prioritize safety. Even if the hypothesis is proven wrong, the process of testing it moves science forward. Bold ideas force us to re-examine assumptions and can lead to unexpected discoveries. Whether this idea holds up or is discarded, the quest to understand aging continues. Asking big, mind-blowing questions pushes the boundaries of human knowledge.